Hello and welcome to SweepTV. Today I'm just going to run through the lighting a log fire made easy. This is obviously a multi-fuel stove. I'm going to concentrate on lighting a fire with kindling and ultimately a log fire today. So just to take you through that, opening up the stove, I don't know if you can see, but in there's a slight build-up of ash in the bottom. That's absolutely fine when you're burning wood. In fact, it's the best thing you can have is a nice bed of ash to start with. Now in terms of starting the fire, get it going, this is a piece of newspaper which screw up into a ball and throw away, because we don't want to start the fire with that. Definitely do not use newspaper to start your fires. The reason being is that it forms a lot of ash, and some of it gets carried up on the flue gases. It never exits the chimney, or very rarely. They'll either get caught, if you have a bird guard with a mesh, it can get caught in that and clog that up, or it'll stick to the sides of the flue or liner, causing more build up, and eventually it'll increase the chances of chimney fire and so on. So that's not a good idea. What you do want is some very nice dry kindling, about 6 inches by 1 inch, like so. And what we'll do is we start by making a Jenga-like tower just in the middle of the firebox here. So I'll just build up a couple of pieces of that, and then we'll start it with a firelighter. Now the firelighters that I use are called Certainly Wood Flamers, and essentially they're wood shavings dipped in wax. They're eco, so they tick all the green boxes, and I think they actually start better than the chemical ones. They're lovely. So put one of those in there. You can use 2 if you need to, but for this I think we'll be all right with 1. Then we continue building our Jenga tower like so until it's got 8 or 9 pieces. Then we want to light the firelighter. So I'm going to use extra long safety matches, but you can use a lighter, whatever, just to get this going. So let's just start that. Okay, so there you can see my flamer starts to flame up nicely, and then with the remaining kindling, I'm going to put essentially a lid on top of that Jenga tower, like so. Still with lots of air gaps, so the flames, there's plenty of oxygen getting around for the flames to really build up. And now what I do is I shut my door, not completely, I leave it ajar. So there's a gap of about 1 centimetre there for the air to rush through, and that will really make it draw. And I make sure that all my vents are open, like so. Now I'm going to leave that for a few minutes just to get warm, and then I will add some more kindling. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, we're back again. This has now been going for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it's nice, it's hot. We've got some good glowing embers in there, and the airflow is really roaring through. There's plenty of draw, and the chimney's working well. So now I'm ready for the next stage. So what I want here is I can add a little more kindling, and I'm going to start with a couple of small logs just to get me going. So I open the door, and then I pop these logs in on top of here, and one at diagonals to the other one, like so, and then a little more kindling just to get that going, like so. And depending on your stove or fire, you may find that you need to add a bit more kindling before you're at this stage. Okay, and still we do exactly the same with the door. We leave it ajar so it's not closed, and we leave the vents open, and that now will continue to flare up. And we'll leave that to get hot probably for another 5 or 10 minutes. So we'll come back then. Okay, that's been about another 10 minutes or so now with just those 2 logs. I haven't added any more fuel, and as you can see, it's burning down into a nice bed of embers. So I'm now going to add a slightly larger log. Again, nice dry piece of split seasoned wood, and that I can pop on there. Things are really getting quite hot now, so watch your fingers. And again, just close the door. I'm still going to leave that air gap so that the flames are still rushing around, and what I've got on top is a stove thermometer that tells me the temperature, and I'm going to wait for that to build up before I close this door, because then when the heat is really intense inside the firebox, the optimum heat for complete combustion of wood is about 500 degrees centigrade, so obviously I want that to get nice and high, and on the top here I'm looking for this to get up round about 300 mark, and then I can just shut down the vents and I can really control the burning of the logs. So I'm going to again leave that probably about another 10, maybe 15 minutes, and then I'll show you how to set it for just nice slow burn. Okay, now that's been burning for about another 15 minutes or so, and as you can see, it's roaring away nicely there. There's lots of glowing embers in the bottom, and the temperature gauge is just on between 250 and 300 degrees. That's obviously on the top of the stove. I can feel it getting hot, so the temperature inside the firebox is obviously going to be a lot higher. So now we can just set it up to continue burning nice and slowly for the rest of the night. So I open the door, and then I get a piece of nice seasoned firewood and just pop that on there. Obviously things are very hot, so be careful with that. Just pop that in there. Then I can now shut the door completely, like so. And with this vent, I mean, all stoves vary, but with this vent, it controls airflow to the bottom, and this one, although the lever's underneath, it actually controls airflow to the top. Now wood, when you get it going, if you almost imagine it's a choke, so you only need that to get it started, because wood likes its oxygen from on top, doesn't need it from underneath, not like fossil fuels or coal, which require air flow from underneath. So I can now shut that vent completely, and now the flames become a lot less aggressive and vigorous, and we can use this vent just to control it, and what you want is just enough so the flames are licking nicely in the firebox, they're not rushing up over the throat plate. And that now will just continue to burn nicely and slowly, and you can just add more logs as necessary, and that will keep you nice and warm and toasty. Obviously the glass is nice and clear, that's a good sign that it's burning well. If you've got black deposits building up on the glass, then obviously there's not enough airflow through, not enough oxygen getting in, and that, if it's building up in there, it will certainly be building up in your chimney. So that's something to look for. But as you can see now, those flames have died down, they're just nicely ticking over. So that will now keep going, and I'll just add logs as necessary. Hope that's helpful.